Hey there, brilliant mind. Ready for another intellectual adventure? We've tailored this one just for you.
Yeah, I hope you're ready.
Forget the surface stuff today.
Hmm.
We're going deep, plunging right into the early 20th century with C.G. Jung's Psychology of the Unconscious.
It's a foundational text, really.
Think of it like, well, like a secret code for understanding why we humans do the, let's say, wonderfully weird things we do, ourselves included.
Precisely. It's not exactly light reading, but it's pivotal.
Yeah.
Jung lays out some truly revolutionary ideas here about the forces shaping our inner lives.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive, if you stick with us, and we really hope you do,
Please do.
Yeah. It's to pull out the core insights from Jung's exploration of libido, and not just, the bedroom kind of libido,
Definitely not just that.
but libido as this fundamental psychic energy.
Yeah.
You want to see how its transformations and symbolic expressions shine a light on how human thought evolved and those timeless psychological conflicts we all feel.
Yeah, that tug of war inside.
We're talking connecting ancient myths to your, everyday anxieties. It's all linked up, believe it or not.
Absolutely. This book gives us a framework for understanding how the unconscious mind, that huge hidden part of us, deeply influences our behavior, our relationships, even the patterns we see repeated throughout history. It's about spotting those deep, enduring links between our personal inner worlds and the bigger human story.
Okay, let's dive right in then, starting with the big one. The unconscious. We sort of know it's where, forgotten birthdays and maybe some questionable fashion choices from the past live.
Maybe.
But Jung saw it as much more dynamic, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Jung put huge importance on understanding the unconscious. It's not just a dusty storage closet for repressed stuff.
Right.
It's a vibrant, active place that's constantly shaping our actions, our interactions. Think of it like an unseen scriptwriter pulling the strings in the play of your conscious life.
Okay, interesting analogy.
And figuring out its symbols, its language.
Yeah.
That's key to getting deeper self-awareness. And maybe even more fascinating, understanding why other people act in ways that sometimes seem baffling.
So it's less about finding where I left my keys and more about understanding why I always seem to lose them in the first place.
Yeah.
On some deeper level.
Exactly, on a deeper level, yeah. Understanding the unconscious can shed light on those recurring patterns in your relationships, or what's really driving your ambitions, or even where those sudden bursts of creativity come from. It's about getting to the fundamental why behind how you react and what you tend to do.
Okay, that makes sense. Which actually brings us nicely to this idea of libido. Now, my first thought goes somewhere specific.
Understandable. That's the common association.
But Jung really broadened that definition out, didn't he? It wasn't just about romantic stuff.
Exactly. Freud was heavily focused on the sexual side of libido, sure, but Jung saw it much more broadly, like a fundamental psychic energy, a life force, really.
A life force.
Yeah, something that pushes us towards growth, creativity, even, spiritual exploration. This book digs into the transformations and symbolic expressions of that energy, how it shows up in our individual lives and across different cultures.
So it's like this raw potential, this energy that can be channeled into loads of different things, like the drive to learn a new language or dedicating yourself to making the perfect sourdough starter.
Yes. Or
finally organizing that chaotic spice rack. Could that be libido?
It could be, and this is where it gets really interesting for someone like you who likes those aha moments. By getting how this psychic energy transforms and expresses itself symbolically, we get a much richer understanding of our own motivations and maybe the actions of others that seem a bit random.
Right.
Suddenly, your neighbor's year-round, super elaborate holiday decorations might not seem quite so out there.
Okay, maybe.
It could be a manifestation of a powerful psychic need for expression, however unusual it looks, maybe.
Or maybe they just really love tinsel. But I take your point. Look beneath the surface behavior. Now, early in the book, Jung also talks about dreams, right? Those weird nightly movies our minds make. He didn't just dismiss them as brain static.
Not at all. For Jung, dreams were profoundly meaningful. He saw them as symbolic expressions of unconscious desires, unresolved conflicts, even potential future developments in our psyche.
Wow, okay.
Think of them like little plays staged by your unconscious, full of symbolic characters and kind of bizarre plot twists, all trying to communicate something important back to your conscious self.
So that recurring dream where I'm trying to outrun a giant rubber chicken.
Yeah.
that isn't just my subconscious wanting takeout?
It's unlikely. The symbolism is the key thing. Running from something in a dream could represent, a desire to avoid a situation or a feeling in your waking life.
Okay.
It's about trying to decode the symbols and grasp the underlying message. And this gives a completely different perspective on our inner struggles and hopes, which I know fits with your interest in looking at things from multiple angles.
Yeah, definitely.
Dreams can reveal parts of ourselves that our conscious minds might be actively, pushing away or ignoring.
Okay, message received. Next time I'm arguing with a sentient cloud in my dream, I should probably pay attention.
Got it.
Might be worth considering.
Now, another idea that really struck me was this concept of the continuity of human conflicts. It's kind of comforting in a strange way to think our inner battles aren't totally unique to us right now.
Exactly. Jung really emphasized this enduring quality of human struggles. He suggested that many of the basic psychological conflicts we wrestle with today are mirrored in ancient myths and legends.
Like echoes from the past.
Precisely. The book uses the Oedipus legend quite powerfully as an illustration.
Right, Oedipus, the classic.
Yeah. And that story, with its intense themes of family dynamics, forbidden desires, the search for identity, it still hits home across thousands of years because it taps into archetypal human experiences.
Archetypal.
Universal patterns of behavior and imagery that exist in what Jung called the collective unconscious. Shared human stuff. So when I had that massive argument with my partner about whose turn it was to do the dishes, on some deep symbolic level, that's like a modern replay of some ancient power struggle.
Well, in its underlying emotional dynamics issues of control, responsibility, relationship harmony, maybe, it shows how certain core human conflicts are just timeless. And for you, valuing getting knowledge efficiently and thoroughly, this is a really powerful insight, isn't it? It suggests that by understanding these old stories, we can actually get a deeper handle on our own internal conflicts and the dynamics we see playing out around us.
Like a universal playbook for human behavior.
Kind of, yeah. That's a good way to put it.
That's fascinating. It does make you feel a bit more connected to the whole human story, knowing we're all wrestling with similar inner complexities. Okay, speaking of powerful insights, there was a quote from the summary that really seemed to nail a central theme. It was, Jung emphasizes the long-standing connections between individual psychology and the historical psyche. Just really concise, but it sums up that idea of shared experience, doesn't it?
Absolutely it does. It perfectly highlights the core idea in psychology of the unconscious, that our individual lives, our personal experiences, are deeply woven into the collective history of the human psyche.
Wow.
Our unconscious minds carry these echoes of past generations, influencing our present thoughts, our emotions, our actions, often in ways we don't even consciously realize.
So, okay, let's try and wrap this up a bit. We've gone on a pretty whirlwind journey through Jung's early work here and dug up some really valuable stuff.
Certainly.
We've seen the huge importance he placed on understanding the unconscious.
Crucial.
How libido is this really versatile life force, not just one thing.
Much broader, yeah.
The potential meaning hidden away in our weird dreams.
Symbolic messages.
And that kind of comforting, but also maybe slightly unsettling idea that our inner struggles often echo these enduring themes from human history.
Precisely. These key insights from the book offer a really profound way to look at the human psyche. They emphasize that intricate link between our personal experience and that collective unconscious. It really pushes us to look deeper than just surface appearances and to recognize how powerful our inner landscape truly is.
Okay, so on that note, dear listener, we'll leave you with a final thought, maybe a bit of a mind bender.
Go on.
Consider those ancient stories, the myths, the legends that have gripped people for centuries. Could the symbols and themes in those stories still be playing out in the narrative of your own life? In your relationships, maybe in ways you haven't quite clocked yet.
Interesting question.
Maybe paying a little more attention to those quirky patterns in your own behavior, or those recurring dream themes. Perhaps that could unlock some pretty profound insights into your own inner world.
It's certainly possible.
We really encourage you to embrace that exploration, Seek out the amazing resources available for understanding the fascinating, complex thing that is the human mind. And maybe, just maybe, you'll discover some hidden chapters in your own story.
Well said.
Thanks for diving deep with us today.